Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWin24, and welcome to I want to use the word tutorial for this, more of a guide, but I'm gonna start this guide by saying that every step that I'm gonna do in this, if you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. I just want to get that out there. That's like a warning label I'm going to put on this video today. So today's video is going to be dealing with some of the idiosyncrasies that come out with FSX Steam Edition's DLC management system. So in the past, with downloadable content and third-party content for FSX, you bought it, it had its own installer, it installed, and that was it. It was done. With Steam Edition and the way Steam itself enforces titles that come out on Steam to manipulate and handle downloadable content, it's handled slightly differently for FSX Steam Edition for any DLC that you actually purchase in game per se. So one of the things that can happen is that if you have content that is counter dependent on other content, then you will find that it actually tends to not work so well. Things, odd quirky things seem to happen. So I'm going to cover off why and how that happens and some of the ways that you can possibly go to mitigate that. Now, first off, I'm going to start from this screen here because I want to show you some of the add-ons that clash with each other. So, for example, classic ones that do. So, we've got 3D Lights Redux add-on from A2A Simulations for all the fantastic new lights we get for FSX. Active Sky Next, specifically the X-Gauge functionality of Active Sky Next. Then we've got the Air Alaska add-on and its work with the Piper J3 Cub from A2A Simulations. And the one that one of the ones that that's probably the easiest one to show off as well is the F-16 Fighting Falcon add-on for FSX Steam Edition. So we're going to go through just going to touch primarily on this one here because it's probably the easiest to show you what can go horribly wrong. And why some things don't work. So we're going to go through. So I want to show you that I've got all of those installed before I start this, and I want to show you some of the ways to work around it. Now, the primary offender. Well, okay, no, that's really the wrong word. It's not the primary offender. It's only the primary offender because it's the most recent release. So let's have a look in the DLC. Okay, so let's go in here. So we're in our main Steam Edition FSX folder. So we've gone Steam Apps, Common, FSX, and here we are. So this is the DLC folder. Now, you've heard me touch on this on several videos before. So this actually, each one of these numbers represents a different piece of DLC. And you can find out what the number represents either by going into it and having a look and going, okay, so this one, let's have a look. This one is for the Alabama GB set. Okay, cool. Or you can look it up on store.steampower.com and you can see what the little number is at the end of the website there, and there you go, that's what it is, that's the DLC number. So what this DLC system does is it prioritizes not the most recent installed DLC, however it prioritizes the most recently released DLC. So in this case, for ones that clash with each other, we're talking about the 3D lights from A2A, so the shockwave lights. So in that case, 379233. Now this one has a fairly significant one because it influences all of your core default aircraft. So I'm going to show this. I'm going to show what happens with this in two ways. So we're going to go back to basics for a second. So over here on this other screen here, I've got this folder here. Now this is a great repaint that I've downloaded from Flyaway Simulations. Now this is a repaint of the default P51 Racing Mustang. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract that one here, and we're going to follow the normal process that we have for actually putting that into our aircraft. So we're going to jump into the folder here. So we're going to open up its README, put that over here, so you can see, yep, cool, this is for the Airplanes P51 Racer. Okay, so we're going to go into our Sim Objects folder, go into Airplanes. By the way, I hate that. That's just, it's such an, I know it's an Americanism, you know, but I'm from the colonies, and that's just not right. Anyway, so we've got that, and then we're going to go into our P51 Racing directory, scroll down here and find it. Here we are, P51 Racer. Okay, so we are now going to open up the aircraft config. Right over there. Scroll down here, so look for the next one. There we are. Okay, race 8. Put in a couple of lines here. So this is like a bit of like recap on things that have gone before. Alright, so we paste that one in there. Next one is the Flight Sim 9. Cool, done, awesome. Close that one. Save that one. Now of course we need to take that and put that in there so it's actually got something to refer to. Cool, no worries. Awesome, done. Yay, cool. Alright, so that should work, shouldn't it? That should be fine, because that's worked for since time immemorial. That's always the way it's worked. Okay, so that's that. Now the other one I want to show you is maximize this one now. Okay, so the other one I want to go back to is I want to show the there it is, DLC. Now I'm going to show you the Aerosoft F16 one. So that's 343953. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Now in this add-on, you get the F16, obviously, but you also get the a repaint for the default 747-400. Now, it's primarily there for a mission that gets played, that you get a bonus mission that you get with the DLC, but it does also, you can also fly it. So it's cool. It's licensed from Damien Oxia by Aerosoft. So cool. Pay credit to that. Awesome work, goat. But yeah, that will inject as well. It's part of the DLC management system, so that will inject in there. So what we're going to do now is we are now going to come to that folder. I'm going to minimize this, and we are going to jump into FSX, and we're going to have a look. So we're expecting to see the new P-51 racer scheme, and we're also expecting to see Air Force One texture for the Boeing for the default 747. Let's have a look and see if they're there, shall we? Alright, so here we are in FSX Sim Edition. So I've just loaded in, just gone to the select aircraft. So let's go down. Now let's have a look at, first of all, let's have a look at for our P-51. So it's our brand new P-51 that we've just installed in. So we're going to go down to North American, and it's not there. Now we followed all the process. We did everything we did everything right, and it's not there. That's rather odd, isn't it? Okay. Let's have a look at our default 747 and go, okay, so we know that, okay, so this is, we could always go, okay, this could be user error because, we've modified something. So, okay, let's have a look at our default 747. So we go Boeing, 747, yep, okay. So we've got our, yep, Boeing, test livery, world travel, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. We don't have our Air Force One texture. Where's it gone? Now this is official DLC, so it should appear here. Why does it not appear? Let me show you. The reason why it hasn't appeared is because if we go now into the Shockwave Lights add-on, which remember, this is the newest add-on. So it's not the newest one that we installed, but it's the newest released add-on. Okay, remember that. Now if we go in here into the, so this is the Shockwave DLC folder. We go into Sim Objects, go into Airplanes. So, here we go. We've got both the P-51 Racer and the Boeing 747-400 are here. Okay. And we see there's an aircraft config file and a panel config file. Okay. So, this is, as I said, one of the idiosyncrasies of DLC management for FSX Steam Edition. It's in theory works great because it means it leaves your core files unchanged. So if you uninstall just the one piece of DLC, it's a lot easier to remove because all it does is it just takes out that folder. That's it, done. However, what it means is it means that the way it interacts, it will overwrite whatever is, so when FSX Steam Edition is loading, it will take the order of release DLC and bring those files into your main FSX, and it will virtually override it. So it will still leave the original there untouched, but it will utilize whatever the newest one is. When you've got multiple that stack upon each other, it will always prioritize the one that was released most recently. Hence, now if we have a look into this here, the Boeing 747-400 config, we do not have any mention of the Air Force One logo, of the Air Force One repaint, which is part of the Aerosoft F-16 DLC. And if we have a look at the P-51 Racer, of course, we didn't modify this aircraft config, we modified the core one, the original one. Now, in here, of course, is all the lights adjustments that you get from the great 3D lights redux that you get from A2A simulation of the shockwave lights. If I can find where they are, somewhere in here. Somewhere in here? There they are. Yeah, so it's got the addition of those in there. Cool, great, and it looks great in game, but it means that, yeah, this kind of thing can happen. Now, there are two ways around this. Now, I've spoken with the guys from Dovetail, because I first noticed it with the A2A Simulations J3 Cub and the Aerolask add-on. That was when I first noticed it, and I brought it to their attention, so it's a little while ago. And they've said they looked at it, but there's not a great deal they seem to be able to do. They are looking at it. Maybe we'll see this change in the future. I don't know. But it's just kind of annoying. It really is. So what I'm about to show you is what possibly okay, again, this is the big warning I'm going to put up here. What I'm about to walk you through can break your sim. Okay, I want to make this really, really clear. So if something breaks, you don't blame me, because I'm going to put the huge disclaimer on this right now. If you are not careful and if you're not comfortable doing this, do not do this. Okay? If you're not comfortable, contact Dovetail support. They're happy to help you. They will look into things for you, and they'll try and help you out where they can. But I'm going to show you ways to do this yourself, but I need to warn you that this may potentially break your sim. So if it does break it, do not blame me. Okay? You do this at your own risk. And every step of the way, I'm going to walk you through how to back stuff up. So what we first of all need to do, before we start messing with anything that I'm going to show you, we need to close down our FSX. So I'm going to jump back here. I'm going to close FSX, and we'll start again in just a moment once FSX is shut down. Alrighty, so we're back here. Now, as you can see, I've got the two Windows Explorer windows open. Okay, now you're going to need this for a reason. Alright, so let's start. So we're going to start today. So again, we're going to cover off the two that I've shown you, and then I will also show you the how to get around it for the A2A J3 Cub as well. So, alright, first off, on the left hand side here, okay, we're going to have our core, what's in the core sim. On the right hand side, we're going to go through the DLC stuff. Okay, so on the left hand side, on the core sim side, we're going to go into our sim objects, airplanes. We're going to start with the 747. Okay, so in here, we're first of all going to go to our aircraft config file. Now, this is the core one that comes with the game. First thing you're going to do is you're going to hit you're going to right click on it, and you're going to go rename. Okay, we're going to go to the end here, and we're going to change that to .backup.bak. Okay, it'll pop you the warning saying, yep, you want to change it? Yes, you do want to change it. The second file you're going to go into, you're now going to go into the panel folder, and you're going to do exactly the same with your panel.cfg file as well. We go to the end, and we're going to rename it back up. Okay, so just to reiterate this, do this, okay, before you start messing with any kind of config files in FSX or really in anything, really. Before you start messing with stuff, things that could break things, you always back up what's originally there. The reason for that is that so if you break something completely, you can always restore it back by going delete your changes and restore back to your original backups. Okay, just trust me on this. Okay. Alright, so we've done that. So that's our 747. Now, our next step is we're going to go into our DLC folder. We're going to go into our Shockwave Lights one, which is 379233. Sim objects. Now, create a new folder here. New folder. Call it backup. I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to go into our airplanes. We're going to go into 747-400. Now we're going to select the file and the folder. We're going to copy those, so copy them, and you're going to paste them into your core game. Okay, cool, done, awesome. We're going to go here, we're going to go to the actual 747 folder. We're going to cut the folder. I do apologize, so we're going to cut the folder. And we're going to put the folder into backup. Done. Okay, so it's now no longer present in the folder that gets referenced as part of the DLC, and it's now in another folder that's just going to be ignored. Okay, now what this has done is that this has now put in the config file from the shockwave lights. So this one's got shockwave lights in it, and the panel's got the shockwave lights recognition in it. So to prove it, I'm opening up, I'm just going to scroll through here. I could use Control F, but anyway. Lights are in here somewhere. Here we go. Okay, cool. So we can see it. Yes, this is our shockwave lights one. Fantastic. Cool. Close. Alright. Now, we're going to now do the same thing with our P51. So we're going to go down here to the P51 Racer folder. So of course what we're going to do here, we're going to back it up. Okay, so rename, backup. Yes, we know it's going to change it. And panel, and make that backup as well. Cool, awesome, done. So now we go into airplanes. We go into now we go back over the DLC side. P51. Going to copy those. We're going to paste them here. Cool. We're going to go up one level, and we're going to cut the folder and put it in the backup folder. Cool. Done. Awesome. Now, you remember that so that's how to manage so that now stops the actual aircraft.cfg files and the panel.cfg files being overwritten. Cool, good start. Now we need to deal with the liveries. So over here, we're going to deal with the P51 Racer here, but mainly because I'm here right now. So we've put our new racing livery there. There it is, still sitting in the core folder. Great. Now if we open up this one, we open with Notepad. Okay, put that there, and let's open up the aircraft config that we've copied over from the shockwave lights. So what we need to do is we need to go down here. So we need to put in our add-on livery flight sim entry. So what we can do is we can copy this one here, copy, put a bit of space in, and paste. And there we go. Close that one. We save that one. Fantastic. Done. Now if we now go to, now this is where it gets a little bit more complex. So this one solves the issue if you're just wanting to put in your own installation of your own personal textures that you've downloaded, you found, or textures you've created. That solves that one. It also means for add-ons like Active Sky Next, because Active Sky Next will always, when you install the weather gauge, it won't look for any other DLC you've got. It'll only look for what's in here in the panel folder. So that's where it'll inject its weather gauge. Okay, so of course if it's copying a panel file from the A2A shockwave lights, it gets over it and you get lost and it's just not fun. Anyway, so that's now solved that issue as well. Yay, two birds with one stone. Now let's just jump back into the 747 for a second here. Remember that I showed you before that we had the issue of the fact that the 747 Air Force 1 paint doesn't show up from the Aerosoft F16 add-on. So to get around that one, we're going to jump into here. Let's jump into this one. So we're going to jump into this is the Aerosoft F16 DLC, so 343953. We're going to jump into Sim Objects, jump into Airplanes, Boeing 747-400, Air Force 1. Right. Now, notice here we've got an aircraft config file as well. Oh dear. Can you see the problems that we might be about to have? So, again, we copy the texture.af1 folder. We paste it into our core game. Cool. We now open up the modified aircraft.config file, and we open up the aircraft.config file from the F16 add-on. So now we look at these and scroll down and go, yep, cool, so that's the normal one, goes to Flight Sim 6. But if we look at the one from the DLC, we see it goes to Flight Sim 7. So we want to make sure that we copy this section here, copy, and we insert it into our modified core one. And there we go. So again, we save that. We can close that one, close those now, and we're good to go. So, recap. Oh, yeah, sorry, no, wait, one more step, haven't finished. Now, to stop anything being injected and doing anything silly, what we now have to do is we now need to create a backup folder here. So, if I can spell, of course, today, backup. And again, what are we going to do? We're now going to cut and paste. So this now, again, doesn't inject anything in there, so we're good. Alright. I think that's enough, confusing enough for now, isn't it? Okay, let's go back. Now let's fire up FSX and let's see if that worked. Alrighty folks, so here we are back once again. So we're back once again into FSX, post our changes. Now let's have a look. Alright, first of all, let's have a look at the most obvious one, the North American P51. And hey, presto, here we go. It is now here. Alright, so yes, we can see it. There it is, looking absolutely amazing. How cool is that? There it is. Yay, it's finally working. Awesome. Cool, done. Awesome. Now let's see if our Boeing 747 Air Force One turned up. Oh, there we are, Boeing. And hey, presto, there it is. Yes, it did turn up. And now, just to prove it as well, not only did it come in, but it also came in with the shockwave lights. Let's load in with that, and let's have a look at it. Alright, so as we can see, as promised, here we are with the Air Force One repaint, complete with the A2A shockwave lights as well. So, yes, it all works. Now, as I said, folks, this is not an official workaround. It's just, you know, a bit of trial and error on my part and just to sort of think about a few things to see if I can get it to work. Just be aware that, you know, you can break stuff if you're not careful, and that's why always make sure you back up things at every opportunity. You really need to make sure you do that, because yeah, I just can't, you know, reiterate enough that how much you need to back stuff up. So yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much that one there. Look, as I said, it's a few idiosyncrasies and stuff like that. This is not official or anything like that. Now, I am going to show you the quasi-official one of the, well, the official way that Dovetail Sport showed me on how to actually have textures appear for the A2A J3 Cup when you have the A2A simulation, sorry, the Take Flight Interactive Air Alaska pack installed. I will show you that in just a moment. So now that we've had a look over our aircraft and proved that this part works, let's have a look at that one as well. So the official one, when I inquired initially about when I first identified this issue, the official sort of suggestions I got from Dovetail regarding doing this. So this was probably, I originally asked it with the questions around the Air Alaska add-on. So theirs was a two-step solution. So the first step involved going into the A2A Piper J3 Cubs add-on, which is 360080, I think. Yes, there it is. Okay. So I was having issues putting into a repaint into the Tundra Cup. So what they suggested that I do was go in here. So this is the A2A one. Put the texture that I wanted to have appear into that one, which is this is available from Flyaway Simulations. Great texture. This one's really, really cool. Really like rustic and bush and stuff like that. Put that one here. So put the texture folder in there, but do not change the aircraft.config file. Once I'd put the texture folder into there, I would then went into the Air Alaska add-on pack, which was 364 something or other. 364. Yes, there it is. Cool. And then go into its Sim Objects folder, Airplanes, and J3 Cup Tundra. So it's got its own texture in there, but it's got the aircraft config file as well, which we know can be issues. But this is where I actually put in the flight sim information for the repaint I wanted to see appear. So it's a bit odd because you have to, like, you put it in two different places. Technically speaking, I suppose it's less messing around. It's just in different places that you're messing it around with it in. But yeah, for me, I just found that even this way was unreliable, and there are times where it would actually then block all of it. I wouldn't see any of the Tundra Tire Cubs would appear. Like, none of them would appear at all. So I was a little like, yeah, no, not very impressed. So that's why I started investigating other ways to do it, and hence we've come out with this video today. So there you go. I just wanted to touch on, this is the official answer. Sorry, not very impressed with the official answer per se, and I do hope they continue looking at it and possibly looking at workarounds for it, because yeah, it's just a little annoying. So anyway, but to prove that their one does work eventually, kind of, here we go. There it is. It does work, it does appear, and it's cool. But yeah, as I said, wasn't very impressed with their thing about that. So guys, as I said, this has been a long-winded tutorial, but I just want to, I'm going to reiterate it once again. I've reiterated it multiple times throughout this video. Before you do anything, before you start messing with anything, back everything up. If you're going to mess with a file, back it up. Back up whole folders if you have to, because you don't want to be breaking stuff. You don't. You really don't. You really, really don't. Anyway, so I hope this does help a few people with helping with if you do, as we all start to get more add-ons from Steam and from other sources as well. I hope this does give you a bit of a guide on how to actually get have a better experience with this and actually make the most out of your FSX Steam Edition DLC experience. Alright folks, thanks very much for tuning in for this tutorial. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these and want to see more of these type of tutorials and all sorts of fun things on the channel. And as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.